Today, we are talking about something that affects every area of our lives: coaching, relationships, and business. The three C's of confidence, which are clarity, commitment, and consistency. I've learned something the hard way. Confidence doesn't magically appear first and lead to great action. It actually works the opposite way. Clarity leads to commitment, commitment leads to consistency, and consistency builds confidence. When any of those are missing, we feel stuck, uncertain, and disconnected.
Victor, you're so right. I love that, especially because so many people think that confidence is something you either have or you don't. But what we're saying is it can be created through action and communication, which is a
Exactly.
great point, right?
Yes, exactly. And when we're unclear with ourselves or with others, our confidence collapses. Today, we want to connect this to something really: mixed signals in
Mhm.
communication. How not being clear in relationships, coaching, or business destroys trust, and how these three C's restores it.
I think that's such a great point. And if people really pay attention to what we're going to offer to y'all today, that development of really good communication patterns, both giving a message and receiving a message, is going to allow all of us to build really great relationships and connect in such a way that we feel really confident and that we understand the person that we're communicating with. I think that's a great point. So let's dive in. Victor, you ready?
Okay, I am ready. I am ready.
Okay.
So, clarity. Clarity. Let's talk about relationships. And this is what I think clarity sounds like.
Okay.
This is where I stand. This is what I want. This is what I'm capable of giving.
Those are great points. I think the biggest thing is really establishing what the why part of that is. This is what I want, this is where I stand, and this is what I'm capable of doing. Once we understand what our limits are, but also our unlimited opportunities, it really helps us understand why we want to do things, why we want to meet someone, why we want to have a relationship with someone, why we want to go and achieve a certain goal. And I think that's a great point. I love those phrases. I really do.
Yeah, and you know what, Adele, I've been personally guilty in relationships where I, one minute I'm joking about future plans, then pulling away when things got uncomfortable, and that causes uncertainty and makes others feel unsafe emotionally.
I think that's the perfect way to describe it. Unsafe emotionally because it can break your heart sometimes, and I think that happens in a lot of relationships, whether it be a professional or a personal relationship, because not understanding and not getting a clear message really does affect the response to that message, right?
Yeah.
And it is emotional uncertainty. I think is just great concept in the sense that all of a sudden it brings in that sense of judgment, that sense of confusion, that sense of I don't want to be here in this relationship. I don't want to commit to anything. So yeah, that's a great opportunity to clear everything up.
Absolutely. And even uncomfortable truths
Hmm.
hurt less than emotional ambiguity.
Yeah.
When a
Yeah.
clear yes or no is kinder than confusing maybes.
Right. I think too, one of the biggest parts of a mixed signal is also silence when it's not the best response, and also dismissal when that's a total y- lack of consideration for the person giving the message, right?
Yeah.
So silence sometimes is such a gift, and it's such a great response to someone because then you have that feeling that I'm being listened to and my feelings or my thoughts or my expressions are being addressed, and the person listening is going to give me something heartfelt back. The
Yeah.
dismissal part in a communication means you're literally just shut down. And that's never a positive in any kind of communication, never a positive. So it needs to be off the table in any kind of communication, business,
Yeah.
professional,
If
right?
you say, I need some time to think about something's going on because maybe you're confused of what you're feeling. But if you
Hmm.
say that at least I am a little bit uncomfortable and I wanted some time to think about what just happened.
Right.
But
And I think, go ahead. Go
at
ahead.
least you're saying that something is wrong. You're admitting that
Right.
something went haywire.
Right. And I think too, when we look at it, not just from a personal basis, like we all have a tendency to give mixed signals in whether it be in a relationship with someone that's a partner, be it a family member, a sibling, a parent, a child. We all give mixed signals. And a lot of times that happens because of stress or what's going on around us, confusion, or too much going on at one time. It's okay. It's okay if you address it and either correct it or amend it or truly give out the message that you want to convey and say, I'm sorry, I was distracted. This is what I really mean. And share the clarity of the real message, right? The
Correct.
why behind it. You want that relationship to truly be a positive relationship. And that goes back to how we coach people too, when you think about it. There's going to be a lot of people that don't understand why they want to make something happen in their lives. They establish a goal, but they're unclear on how to achieve it. That's where we come in as a coach or as a mentor or as a guide in some way. And what happens is we help that person, and y'all listen to this now. A good coach or a good mentor or a good teacher of any kind is going to help develop the clarity of that why, right? Why do I want to do this? And as Victor mentioned, this is what I'm capable of, this is where I stand, and this is what I want. All that goes into why you make that choice to go in a direction you're going in right now. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think that if we move from relationships, like a romantic relationships, into a coaching
Mhm.
atmosphere, then clarity would look like it would look like this: what the goals are, what
Mhm.
training requires, and what accountability looks like.
Right. Right.
Because
Right.
vague coaching produces poor results, clear coaching builds trust.
Right. And that's what we're both telling y'all. Okay. So this is the thing. I want to go out and I want to run a 5K. I want to do a 2 mile walk run with my family for Christmas celebration, which Christmas is coming up. Y'all don't forget that. Y'all do this with your families. The key is that if you've never done it before and you have some ultimate goals to go further or longer, half marathon, sometime in your life, you're going to get the right coach. You're going to get the right teacher. You're going to get somebody, when I say the right person, who's going to help you find out this is what I'm capable of. This is what I want. How do I get there? Right.
That's good.
And that's where the vagueness, you don't want a vague, you want somebody who's going to challenge you. You
Yeah.
don't want the vague communication when you're in the coaching environment. You want to say to that person, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know how to get here, but this is why I want to do it. And the coach steps in and gives you the clear path to help you learn and achieve your goal.
Crystal clarity.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
what I love. Crystal clarity, I love that.
Okay.
I think too, it gives us an opportunity to develop a really clear program when we're working with our clients.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
that's a good establishment from the very beginning. You as a coach, Victor, will tell your client, this is what we're going to try to work on. Where do you fit into this? And then the communication continues from there. And if that particular client is not really going with the discipline or the commitment that they want, then it's going to be very difficult for a coach to do the job that we do, right?
Yeah,
So,
and that's just good business because if you're going to have clarity in the business, for example, in the coaching business, then clarity turns conversations into conversions. So you're
right,
going to have like your clear program name, your
right,
clear pricing, the clear timelines, and clear next steps.
right. Explain what you mean by the next steps, because I think that's something that's a future part of that goal, part of that coaching program when you say next steps.
Yeah, next step would be I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to run a half marathon. Okay, then I could present the program. I'm just making it up, saying
Mhm.
lose 10 pounds and run a half marathon in so many minutes.
Right, right,
Then it's a clear thing. And I could say to the prospect, and the clear next step is for you to sign up for this particular program that
Right.
specifically made for someone like you who wants these goals.
Right.
It's that's to me that's a very clear next step. Or maybe it might be to take an assessment, but just making it clear, here are your clear next steps that you could take that gets you to where you want to be.
See, and I like that concept because when somebody starts out, they may not be thinking that far ahead, but once they start working towards their goal that they're committing to, right? That they
Yeah,
have, they understand the clarity of it, right? So once they get a little further along, the excitement of getting to that goal just wants, what can I do next? I mean, look, I'm doing well. Coach Victor, Coach Adele, Coach Crystal, everybody. I'm really learning how to change my lifestyle to achieve my goal. I'm putting in the time, the commitment, the training. I'm looking at my nutrition. I'm looking at my health. I'm looking at my lifestyle. I'm looking at my family's commitment behind me. Wow, I'm
yeah,
doing it. What is my next step? Because I'm so excited that I'm working towards something that's making me feel that self esteem, that self confidence, the understanding that I've made a commitment that I'm living up to. And that next step is really vital when you get through the program, the coaching programs.
yeah. I've had really good success with the Iron Edge that you and I have
Hmm.
talked about, and it's got
Right,
a
right,
clear name. When I talk to the clients, it's got a clear pricing, a clear goal for them, and clear next steps all the way, because we meet with them at least once a week,
right.
and they're constantly knowing what their next step is, and there's no confusion. It makes everything so much smoother and easier to get them to their goal.
Well, and I think that's the clarity part of it too, right? I mean, we were talking about clarity as being the major focal point to begin anything personal, professional, athletic, fitness, nutrition, health, longevity, whatever the concept is. Once you understand the why behind it, and I know that sounds like a cliche, but the why behind it is strictly unique and personal to each individual. And there might be something deep down inside that's not being realized yet. And that's what a good mentor or a good coach can help us all realize. So if it's in something that's in the athletic field, the running field, the nutrition field, someone with the basic knowledge is going to help bring that out. And that clarity, that why becomes even greater. And
Yeah.
then the commitment is even more disciplined, right? It's even more
So
established.
let's talk
Yeah.
about commitment, because that's our next
Yes.
point, is that
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
after having clarity, then it makes easy to commit to something, because you know what's required, you know where you want to go. So now take the commitment, and you want to be fully committed in order
Hmm.
to results. For example, avoiding defining let's just take a relationship, for example.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if half commitment is emotional sabotage.
Right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Where you are avoiding defining what the relationship is.
Right.
um, you don't know where it's going, from now to a month or a year from now, and then
Right.
emotionally showing up sometimes but withdrawing under pressure.
Well, and I think too that you have to want to learn about the other person in a relationship. You have to want you have the desire, wow, this person makes me happy when I'm with them. How can I go a little bit further in the relationship?
Yeah,
What do I want to commit to myself offering to that person in the relationship too? And that's all part of the commitment. I think
yeah,
we're all seeing that in our lives now with family and personal relationships, be them partners or, siblings, whatever. What am I willing to commit to?
yeah. And it means probably taking a risk to being rejected,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
very
that's
much so.
raw.
A lot of vulnerability in a personal relationship, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then if we take that to the coaching, people will say, I want change.
Right.
But the commitment sounds like doing the workouts when motivation is gone,
Right.
tracking nutrition on the boring days, and not quitting when results slow.
So I'm going to give y'all an example. And I chatted with Victor before we actually hit the record button. Y'all know that. I'm older than Victor. Y'all have met Crystal. I'm 20 years older than Crystal. The fact that the three of us have developed a great relationship is there's a commitment factor inside each of us. We've all had our reasons to develop that, right? Obviously, I'm going to be 68 on Saturday. Birthday, hello, yes, happy birthday to me.
Hey, Adele.
But yes, I know. But when I hit that birthday mark, y'all know my story that being a cancer survivor and getting the first clear report at 40, I am 28 years post that 10 years of cancer. 28. And people don't realize how important that is. And that's uniquely me. So my birthday is this incredible opportunity for me to celebrate myself. And that's okay because I always do anyway. But the beauty of the commitment to do what I do, I'll give you a little example. We all run, bike, swim. We all do our workouts, all three of us. I'm here in New Orleans a week with my sister. She's recuperating from surgery. I'm committed to being with her for this week. And I knew I wouldn't be able to swim. I wouldn't be able to bring my bike. But luckily, her husband has a treadmill in the house. I've been able to walk 5 or 6 miles every day, do a few exercises on my little mat I brought with me. I brought all of my nutritional things that are good for me because of the celiac and the gluten and the autoimmune now. And I've got bags in her kitchen. And we've been able to really navigate the week. It's all been about her, but the key I'm making to you is that my commitment to my fitness and my health has not wavered at all.
So good job.
At all. And she'll tell you that. I'm like, oh, I can't eat that little biscuit I'm fixing for you, but I got my little gluten free crackers on the side. So it's been a lot of fun for both of us. And I've truly went into this week because it's about my sister. I want her to rest. I want her to be healthy. I want her to recuperate as best I can while I'm here. And again, my why for that was about the relationship I have with my sister. My commitment to that was to help her as best I can while I am here, with the commitment to myself to stay on my goals, my track, and be able to look at 68 on Saturday. I'm still as good as I was and still getting better. Big
That's
commitment. Big commitment.
that's amazing. Here's a commitment soundbite. Motivates you, gets you started. Commitment keeps you showing up.
Right. And commitment's more of the action part of it, don't you think?
Yes.
I really think that. I really do. Motivation is really deep down inside, like your why and what you want. But I think the commitment's really the action step. That's
Yeah.
how I've always looked at it.
That's going to help you stay consistency, which is our next topic.
Right?
Out of the three C's, the last one is consistency, because consistency is what turns promises into results.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I know Victor. Look, I got to tell y'all, I'm way down south in Louisiana, as y'all know. I'm right in New Orleans. It has been raining. It's been damp. It's been cold. It's raining consistently for 2 days now, and will rain again tomorrow. The beauty of being able to be at my sister's and use the treadmill has been wonderful because I wouldn't be able to walk outside anyway. Um, the other part of that is that consistency is going to set me up for when I go home on the weekend. I'm gonna have my bike out if the weather's good. I'm going to go to the pool and get a swim in. I'm not gonna lose the sense of, oh, I didn't do anything for a few days. I got some walks in, I got some exercises in. And the flip side of that, Victor, and I don't want to share this with you and our viewers, is it's also giving my body some of the rest it needs from the hardcore discipline I do on a regular basis.
Yeah,
I'm not overextending myself. I'm not doing the major weight workouts. I'm giving my body a little time to heal and rest from the heavy workouts that I do, or the heavy cycling, or the consistent 2 mile swims with intervals. My body's going to be really ready because I've still stayed consistent, but I've also given myself some rest. And I think that's a big part of going through a training program and coaching. You have to have those downtimes a little bit, but not lose the consistency of what you're doing to build towards your goal.
that's true. And in relationships, and we'll be covering relationships, each
Right,
one of
right.
these categories. Um, there's a quote here that says, "Love doesn't grow from big gestures; it grows from predictable support."
Right.
So examples of that is calling your significant other when you say you will call, following through emotionally,
Mhm.
not giving the silent treatment when you just disappear, and showing emotional stability. I think that's a big one too.
I have to laugh a little bit because I'm really good at giving the silent treatment when I'm upset, but there's a reason behind it, and there's a positive to that. Um, it avoids confrontation
Yeah.
and backing off a little bit. Y'all listen to this now, okay? Because this is something we all need to learn. Silence is golden because it can protect you from true difficulties, true blow ups. Because you'll say things and do things that you really don't intend to say, that you really don't mean. Sometimes backing off and maintaining a little sense of calm. I'm really good at the silent treatment or just moving along where I'm not engaging in the same way because you do need to prepare your heart and your soul again for that communication. So it's okay, Victor, to be a little silent sometimes.
Okay, but as long as we come back, don't you think? As long as you
Right.
come back and
Yes.
maybe give an explanation of why you needed to come down, why you needed that time to yourself,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. It's
because
almost like a timeout,
yeah,
almost like a timeout, right?
absolutely,
And just compose, be calm, and not have a major argument with a lot of what I would call violent discussions in a way where there's a lot of hurtful things said and harmful things to the relationship that you don't recover from. So that's part of the emotional stability you want to have in your relationship, correct?
yes, absolutely. Yeah, and it's the same with business. The reason why we try to stay consistent in this podcast and try to do them once a week is to establish that relationship, to establish
Right.
that credibility that, hey, we're here for the long run and we're going to keep coming up with these topics. And then people start to trust us, or at least to be predictable that, hey, these things are coming.
Right.
And yeah,
Right. And that's part of the business model, right?
right,
It's the same thing with y'all know that I do these little motivational snippets on Facebook sometimes, and I try to do them, a few times a week. It's either run daily, swim daily, or cycle daily, and sometimes it's just what's on my mind. I could be outside the pool, or I could still have my helmet on, or my sunglasses from cycling, or you know baseball cap, running cap. The biggest thing is that when you offer those emotional messages to people in a coaching type of situation, you're being very vulnerable, but you're also being very honest and you're being very true and very real. And you want that to happen in all of your communications, both professionally and personally. The consistency of us being here, at least offering some information each week or as often as we can, excuse me, as often as we do, and Victor's got his other stuff with his EYM. I've got my other stuff on the other side as well. The beauty of that is people start to look for that inspiration or that motivation or that knowledge and that education in achieving our goals, right? Victor will
correct,
come on, and I know he did a little video recently about the three major workouts you should have each week, and not all of them are intensity, right? And I
right.
think I'll let him explain that a little bit. But when you come on with that, it opens up somebody's mind. I don't have to run 20 miles a day at 5 minutes, 5 minute miles, every day during the week. So I'll turn that over to Victor and let him
Yeah,
explain a
yeah,
little
with
bit.
that consistency. That my point in that video was that a lot of people think you need to run 6 days a week and everything at high speeds, and no, you can have an easy run, and those are the three: having an easy run,
Hmm.
having a speed workout, and then having a long run. And if you
Right,
have those three, you can do really, really good uh,
right,
on your way to a half marathon or a marathon.
right. And I have actually, it's funny, y'all. There's the Louisiana Marathon weekend and half marathon weekend that comes up. It's always the weekend of Martin Luther King. It's the 15-year anniversary this coming January. And for 13 of these 15 years, I've run the 5K or the quarter marathon on Saturday and the half marathon on Sunday. I was past my marathon years 15 years ago when it started. So I've always done the half marathon. Now the last couple of years I've only done the Saturday shorter distances because of shoulder surgery, coming off things, just, changing lifestyle. But I've been there for 15 years. This year, I'm going to be there both days again, the quarter and the half. I'll probably do a lot more walking because that's more my pattern now. I'm not full running again anymore because of the age and just body and time. But the beauty of making that commitment is I'm here on a treadmill 5 or 6 miles a day walking while I'm taking care of my sister. I am building up 25, 30 miles this week of run walking basically to prepare for that. I haven't broken my consistency. I haven't broken my commitment. I'll swim and cycle when I get home because my body's going to need to have a change, but I'm still going to be building my strength and endurance and with my workouts. So that's a key point in the consistency factor. And as Victor's saying, using the different model, you don't have to do everything hard intensity every day. And that's for life too. That's for life too.
That's how you build confidence.
Yes, it is.
And the soundbite for that is confidence is built by showing yourself that you do what you say you'll do.
Right, right. Y'all, remember something about confidence. It's not competence. It's not the ability to do something well. Confidence is more, I can do it. Believing in yourself is a major part of your confidence factor. I can go out and do a whole bunch of things, but I'm not a good cook. So I'm not competent at cooking, but I have the confidence knowing that I'm going to be able to fix something I need to eat. There is a difference in that.
That's true.
I have to share that one with Krista when I see her again.
Absolutely. Okay, so here's a full loop. Uh,
Mhm.
clarity. Decide what you want and say it clearly.
Right.
Commitment. Choose the difficult path and stop waffling.
Mhm.
And consistency is repeat behavior until identity changes.
Yes.
You do those
Yes.
three things, and oh, you are going to be awesome.
So I want to take this a little step further, if you don't mind, because I think we're getting ready to wind everything up. If you are making plans to do anything through the rest of December, because here we are in the first week of December, Thanksgiving just passed, your holidays are coming. These are key issues that you should address moving forward through the holidays. And I think Victor might have a couple of comments on that too, but keep your confidence in yourself that you're going to make the commitment and stay consistent to achieve your goals. Know that you'll have to be flexible for family and holiday celebrations. But the point is that you're going to stay clarity on what you want, where you're headed, and what you're capable of giving, both in personal relationships, through the holidays with your family and friends, and to achieve your goals and stay on track to what you're looking for to achieve, maybe going into the new year. Victor, I'm going to turn it over to you now.
Yes, so I have three questions that you can ask yourselves.
Mhm.
Um, is where in your life do you lack clarity
Mhm.
with yourself or with someone else?
Right.
What am I not fully committed even though I say I want it? And where are you inconsistent, breaking trust with yourself or others?
Right. That's some good points. Is that going to be in our notes for our on our podcast, by the way?
Absolutely. I'm going to put those there so people
Okay.
can ask themselves that question, and
Mhm.
that'll bring easy to get those commitments and clarity and confidence.
Right. So I'm going to make a suggestion to everybody. When you do have a chance to listen to all of this through and through, look at the transcript, pick up the notes, and just see where you're headed. A lot of people will do assessments at the end of a year as they move into a new year, both professionally and personally, not just on the coaching arena, but in their personal lives as well. What am I going to do with finances? What am I going to do with my job? Where are my kids going to be headed? Da, 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 da. Okay. But you also may have a commitment to yourself. You may have a goal, be it personal, be it an athletic goal like running a marathon or training for an Ironman that we help you with. The key is that use those questions to just take yourself into an assessment moment and say, bump, bump, bump. Wow, look where I am. What am I capable of? Can I make that commitment to be where I want to be going into the next year and finishing this holiday season with the connection with my family and friends that I want to have? So, y'all be honest with yourself. If you're not capable of it, it's okay be honest with yourself because you might have such strength in one area that you're not as strong in another. And that's where someone else comes in to bring you their strength while you offer yours to them. Big key there. Big key.
Yeah, if you take nothing else from today, is don't send mixed signals in life.
Right. Right.
Clear in your words, committed in your decisions, and consistent in your actions. That's how real confidence is built.
I think that's a great way to finish, don't y'all?
Yes.
Except that you have to say happy birthday to Adele.
Oh, happy birthday, Adele. Yes, Saturday is her birthday, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Adele, for
Thank you, sweetheart. It's been a wonderful, wonderful day, and I really appreciate it. Y'all listen, get the notes, contact us if you need any help with anything. Remember, we're always here for y'all. Look for us again next week. Got some good holiday tips coming up.
take care, everybody.
Bye,
Stay
everybody. Goodbye, my friend.